Hello, it's me. I wanted to make a video and possibly give other people hope, let other people know there is life after this type of situation and that it's important you get better. My story is that I have two adult daughters who are 27 and 28, and I also have three grandchildren through my youngest daughter. Now, my daughters both left my life approximately 8, 9, 10 years ago, and I have never met my grandchildren. Now, this is not something I normally bring up at a dinner conversation or with someone new or people that I'm just in association with, simply because it's inexplicable. Now, everyone says, well, why? As much as I would like to answer that, I can't give you answers because I am not the person that's chosen the alienation. I can say you should go ask my daughters, but I don't have phone numbers. So therefore, that's out of the question. So when it first happened, my oldest daughter left when she was 18. Left, she had cleaned out her room. I came home to an empty room, and it wasn't empty. She left things behind like hangers and things like that. So I sat on her floor and cried. And then I got up and I walked out and I closed the door because I said, and my youngest was still at home and she claimed to have known nothing about the situation or that it was going to happen. So, and then about within a year later, youngest is asked to move just simply because it was a toxic environment, and just said, you need to move in with your dad. Tried to get some separation between us so we could possibly get counseling and build. So anyway, she left and hasn't come back since. And I have seen her. I recently saw her because my grandmother, who turned 100 in September, recently passed away. So she did come and say goodbye to my grandma. So here I am in the same room with someone that dislikes me, has 3 children who are my grandchildren, whom I've never met, and I'm trying to hold it together. And I think I did very well overall because everyone said, I don't know how you're doing it, but XYZ. So anyways, they left 2 children that I loved with all my heart. I was not a perfect parent, and I'm not going to make excuses or talk about it, but how I've survived since was I had to get up and I had to focus on myself, and I had to talk to someone. I had to talk to friends. I had to join groups on Facebook regarding parental alienation, etc. And I had to talk to my dad. My dad passed away, and talked to him a lot. And I talked to friends. And so then about a year, it took about a year to wonder where I was going to invest myself when it comes to love, and, the love you give your children, and the emotional investment, mental investment, hugging and kissing and hearing the words, Mom. What do you do? Well, I realized after all this time, because it's been about 10 years, that I can't make anyone have a relationship with me. And as adults, they have that right to choose to disconnect. Whether I like it or not, whether I think it's fair or not, whether it's going to break my heart or not, you have that right. I didn't prefer to see them when my grandma was passing away, but that's what happened. So what did I do? I reached out to friends. I talked to my counselor. I have friends that are vets. I talk to friends in groups, and I vented. And then the funeral's done, and we move on. And then I continued to get busy. But what I chose to do was I chose to get up every day, and I began to focus on the people that chose to have me in their life, that want to have me in their life, and that actually love me. So I have friends, I have family, I have a mom, I have 2 sisters, I have nieces and nephews, I have cousins. I have gotten very close with my cousin who's 10 years younger than I, and his wife, and they have 3 little boys who I love and they love me, and we have fun. So I get to have great relationships with amazing people, and I'm able to focus on what I want to do with my life, how I planned it out, and most important, it's given me the opportunity to decide what kind of relationships I want to have, and also what I expect of my future relationships, because one day when my children return, my adult daughters return, I have to make sure I'm strong enough to say, unless this is going to be healthy and positive and beneficial for both people in the situation, I'm not going to choose to proceed with the situation. So I had to revamp my idea of what I know and believe to be what healthy relationships are. So anyways, that's what I had to do. My life is full. I am retired. I take a class right now. I am a veteran. Tomorrow will be celebrating Veterans Day, so I'll go to a bunch of restaurants and eat for free. Take advantage of my discounts. Whatever the case. So, like this weekend, I was at a family wedding. I had been invited to spend the night at my cousin's house. Him and his wife invited me to spend the night. So we went to the wedding, hung out. I spent time with family and friends. It was so much fun. I danced, I ate, I just talked to people. And then after that was done, we went back, stayed up, we watched a movie, we ate popcorn today, woke up and just had fun. So anyways, get on. I'm not saying get on with your life, and I'm not saying don't grieve, but you can't allow anyone, even your children, to dictate your happiness and your life until you're done and until you're gone. So you have to choose how you are going to spend your life. And on a side note, I remember working with this woman years ago at the bank, and her husband had passed away from cancer. They had been married 40 years, and she was always laughing, and I said to her, I'll call her Susie. I said, Susie, I know you've lost your husband, and I'm just wondering, because you always seem happy, what's your secret? And she said, Laura, it is so much better to laugh than it is to cry. And I swear to God, I will never forget that. And we were standing behind the teller line at the bank when she told me that. And I just gave her a hug, because she is so right. It is so much better to laugh than cry. Crying is okay, and it is necessary, but I can't allow this situation to allow me to cry for the rest of my life. So if and when they come back, I'll embrace them. As long as it's healthy, we'll walk forward together and we'll have a relationship. And until then, I will continue to walk with the people that love me. And I'll walk, most importantly, with myself. So I plan on making it the best I can. And that's it for now. Thanks.